Alright, so technically I am in the process of doing my hot sauce video, but I'm trying to double task here. I'm trying to multitask, we'll call it. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the stir fry recipe as well. So the first thing you're going to do, get a pack of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Alright? Get as many as you need, depending on how many people you're trying to feed. Next, we're going to get a pan. Put it on the stove, spray it with a little bit of oil, just so this doesn't stick. And on medium to high heat, we're going to cook our chicken thighs. Now on top of this for this recipe, you're going to need a whole list of stuff to make this sauce. Or, if you buy the frozen veggies, yes, I'm using frozen veggies. It's a frozen vegetable medley, Bird's Eye, and it's a stir-fry mix. It comes with its own stir-fry sauce. You can use it, but I promise you it's not going to be as good as the one I make. So you can either use this stir-fry sauce and forget the whole sauce-making part of this video, or use my sauce and throw this sauce away. But you'll need these, a whole list of ingredients to make my sauce. And I used an onion today, since I already had to go get an onion. But I usually use shallots and some garlic and noodles. And I'm going to show you the noodles. So these are the noodles I got. I got them from International Asian Market. Dry yellow noodles. Okay? You can use a variety of noodles, depending on what you like, what style. Might not go with thin, but you can. To each your own. Play with the recipe how you like. It's your meal. It's your thing. Go for it. This is what I use. Now, the great thing about these, you throw them in a pot of boiling water for 2 minutes, they're ready to go. You can throw it in the pot with your stir fry, stir it all up, mix it with the sauce. Bada boom, bada bing. You're good to go. So let's get started on this. As for our chicken, we want to check that. We're getting a little bit of color, but I want a little more color than that. So just keep letting it be. Let it sit. Alright, it's been long enough. Time to flip. Yeah, nice golden color. Let's flip all these. And let them cook. Alright, let's start the sauce for the stir fry. So, to start the sauce off, it's going to be some oyster sauce. Now I got the gluten-free oyster sauce this time. But just some oyster sauce. And as always in this kitchen, we don't measure. So, we're just going to do this roughly. You can do more or less of each ingredient, depending on how much sauce you want to make. If you want to do a couple nights worth of stir fry, or you're making a lot of stir fry. So, generally, we're going to go about that much oyster sauce. Maybe a little, maybe more. Then we got hoisin sauce. Do a little bit of hoisin sauce. Actually, about equal parts oyster and hoisin sauce. A little more, a little less. Gonna do some soy sauce. A couple good dashes of that. Rice vinegar. You can also use rice wine vinegar. Rice vinegar works just fine. Good helping of that. There we go. Then we're going to add a couple splashes of sesame oil. Now, a little goes a long way with this, so literally just those 2 splashes of sesame oil is plenty, I promise you. A little bit of Maggi. Add that smoky, almost like Worcestershire sauce. A couple dashes of that. This also a little bit goes a long way. And then to finish it off, just a little bit of honey. Add some extra sweetness to it. A little bit of honey. Now you're going to take your whisk and you're going to stir that on up. And that's your basis for your sauce. Alright, once your chicken's fully cooked through, you got brown on both sides, go ahead and pull it out, pop it on a plate, let it rest. Still burning from that hot sauce I just had. What you're going to do is after you get your chicken all laid out and it's at rest, you let it rest for a little while, take it, dice it up into little bite-sized pieces. Alright. Just easy peasy. Cut it all up. You want to mix it up into this stir fry, so you want it to be decent little size pieces. If it tears, it tears. No big deal. We're just going to roughly chop this anyway. Not a big deal. Now for this next part, I get to use my new wok that I just got. But if you don't have a wok, don't worry. You can just use a large skillet or even a pot. It's just fine. Use what you got. In this kitchen, we use what we got. Alright, so you're going to start off with your pan, pot, wok, whatever you're using. Put a splash of oil in there. Just put a little splash of oil in it. I don't know what my pan just did. Kind of freaked me out for a second there. But we're going to move that around. Coat the wok in our oil. Maybe even pick it up. And run it around a little bit. Now this is supposed to be a non-stick wok, but I always use a little oil anyway for what I'm about to do. Now, to start this off, we're going to use some jarred garlic. I could have just chopped up the garlic that I had earlier, but I didn't feel like it. I like using the already minced up chopped stuff in some oil. Woo! That was a little too hot, but it's alright. We're going to stir it around, and I get you an onion, or sometimes I like to use shallots. But today I got an onion. Use a little bit of onion. Stir that around. Fry that up a little bit. This is a stir fry. Might as well fry. Get it nice and hot. Alright? You don't need to do that for very long. You don't want to burn your garlic. You want to get some color to it. Now this wok is working great. So it really is not going to take me too long. I did forget I need to put a pan with some water on the stove because I need a boil for the noodles. Alright. Now I got a pot working on boiling here, and I'm going to throw the noodles in. So now that our vegetables kind of look like this, got a little color to them, that's good enough. Now, we're going to throw in our frozen veggies. I got a bag of some that I already had, and we'll finish them off. Mostly carrots and other little stuff. And we're going to open up the second bag. Grab these sauce packets out. Since I make my own sauce, I don't need those. Depending on how many people you're feeding, just kind of estimate out how much veggies you want. If you like a lot of vegetables, go heavy on the vegetables. Now you want to stir that in and let them cook. They are frozen, so they need to cook through. Now yes, I could have chopped up broccoli, some red peppers, these snap peas, some mushrooms, carrots, everything that's in this, but it's expensive, labor intensive. Use the frozen stuff. If you want to do it all fresh, be my guest, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm all about doing easy meals. I understand this is not as easy of a meal as my previous recipes, but sometimes you got to put a little extra effort to get an extra good product. So that's it's worth it. Let's go ahead and let that cook through. Once your vegetables have they're no longer frozen and they've cooked down a little bit and they've started getting soft, then you can add in your chicken. Hopefully our water will start boiling sometime soon. Watch pot never boils. But it's trying. Now, I didn't mention this earlier. Some of you may ask, did you season your chicken thighs? No, I did not. There's enough flavor in the sauce in this recipe. You don't need to season the chicken thighs. Just cook them on their own. They'll be fine, I promise. Let's go ahead and clean up a little bit as we go on. Alright, my vegetables are starting to get soft. Now I can go ahead and throw in the chicken. Now I made a lot of chicken for this batch. I don't need a whole lot. I'm going to do about half of it. I'm going to save it to make this recipe again tomorrow. Now, on top of this, when you add in the sauce, it's going to be a little liquidy. So to thicken it up, we're going to use a slurry of cornstarch and water. If you've never done that before, it's a real easy process. Once Blake can find out what he did with his cornstarch. Yep. Got it. Alright, cornstarch. I got a little 1 teaspoon measuring cup right here. I'll do about 2 teaspoons, depending on what you got going on. We're going to multitask this whole thing together in one big go. So, get your cornstarch, add a little bit of water, mix it up with a fork. Don't need a lot of water. About that's enough. Definitely don't fill the whole thing up. This is going to be a sauce thickener, basically. So, doesn't have to be a lot. Okay. Here I'm trying to stir multiple pots at once, but any good cook can multitask. See if I can. Ooh, it's a little sloppy. I don't have my Panda Express skills like I used to. It's been a while since I worked at Panda Express. Alright. Now we're going to put our noodles in. Now, I got 3 people I'm cooking for. So I'm going to put 3 of these noodle bundles in here. Now these cook quick. Less than about 2 minutes. And these noodles are done, ready to throw in the pot. Time to get some chopsticks. Now I take my chopsticks and I stir these noodles around real good. Now, if you have some time in between when your noodles cook, before you throw them in the pot, put them in a mesh strainer like I did for the hot sauce, and rinse them with some cold water to keep them from continuing to cook. I'm going to turn this down. I got that boiling water up on the highest it does. It needs to be cooled down a little bit. Alright, and we're just going to sit here and stir it around, make sure the noodle blocks are all broken up. Let that boil for a little bit while we stir this up. Just keep an eye on everything. You don't have to multitask this like I am. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. And because I've been cooking for the past hour or so. And I'm ready to be done and ready to start eating. And I'm sure so is everybody else who's waiting on food. So, Looks like our noodles are pretty much wrapped up here. To assist this, I'll get my slotted spoon here and just kind of pick them up, toss them in the pan. I'm going to scoop up the rest of these little noodles at the bottom here with a mixture of chopsticks and my slotted spoon, just to assist me a little bit. You're not going to get every noodle, but you get the majority of them. Alright, I'm going to take that off the eye. Alright, now that you got your noodles in here, kind of spread them out a little bit. Don't let them stick to the bottom of the pan though. Now I'm tossing this using a pair of chopsticks and a wooden spoon. You can use 2 wooden spoons. You don't really have to toss it too much, just kind of spread it all out. Now, this is when they add the sauce and the cornstarch slurry. So, take your sauce. Maybe give it another little stir real quick before you put it in, just to make sure everything's all homogenized. And then, drizzle some sauce in there. You don't need too much. Just a good little coating. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Then you want to stir it up. Get everything in the pan coated. Everything should turn a different color. And if you don't think you put enough sauce in, add a little bit more. Which I think I need to. You know what? I'm just going to add the rest of it. Fuck it. We live dangerously. Okay. Now, we got the sauce in, we're mixing the vegetables in, tossing the noodles with everything. Now, we want our sauce to thicken up a little bit, and we want it to stick to the noodles and not slide off. That's when our cornstarch comes in. It's been sitting here the whole time. We're going to give this another mix. Pour that cornstarch in. Now we turn up the heat to about medium high, and we're going to stir this through. I'm going to set my chopsticks to the side here and just kind of work it. As you heat up cornstarch and water with your sauce, it'll start to thicken your sauce. Something we used to use at Panda Express. And it works. Makes your sauce stick to your noodles. Makes a beautiful product. Alright, now if you make a little hole in the center of your food and the sauce isn't in the middle of it and you can see the bottom of the pan, you know your sauce is sticking really well. Then it's ready. Turn the heat off, maybe even take it off the heat. And now you're ready to plate. So there's our finished product. Now what I like to do, I like to grab a bundle of the noodles, and I like to start by putting the noodles on the plate. Made a little bit of a mess there, but hey, it's my food. I'm the one eating it. I don't care if I drop a little bit on the counter. I'm still going to eat it. Don't do that. Use tongs. It's a little easier. But I don't have tongs. All of mine are dirty right now. So I get a little bit of noodle. Put that on your plate. Then scoop up the veggies. Put it on top of the noodles. I'm going to need 2 hands to do that, so I'll be back. Alright, so after you top your noodles with your chicken and veggies, and you plate it up real nice and pretty, you can top it with some toasted sesame seeds to give it some decoration. And if you like, some hot chili oil. And there you go, your stir fry's done. And now, it's ready to eat. It's piping hot. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Give this recipe a shot. You won't be disappointed.